Hi, friends. I think we can all agree that Black Lives Matter, right? Tap yes to continue. Okay, now that we're on the level, I know that we know that Black Lives Matter, but to be honest, a lot of the time it doesn't feel like they do. This year, it felt like the decades of all of this oppression came to a head, with the coronavirus disproportionately flattening Black neighborhoods and the police violence at the protests against police violence. It felt like way too much. I kept joining every community Zoom call or teach-in I could find, trying to find the answers. Like, okay, we keep saying Black Lives Matter, but how do we make it true? And in all of those calls and community meetings, there was one face I kept seeing in like every single one of them. I started to wonder if she ever sleeps. This is Antonine Pierre.
Hi, folks. My name is Antonine Pierre. I'm the Deputy Director of the Brooklyn Movement Center.
I also got to meet Michael Higgins, who works at BMC too. He also watches a lot of YouTube, so we're among friends.
So greetings, everyone. My name is Michael Higgins Jr. I'm the Housing and Sustainability Organizer.
And in an incredibly dark year, meeting Antonine and Mike was a bright spot, because they showed me that the answer to all of my questions starts right here where I live in Central Brooklyn.
Central Brooklyn is one of the oldest and biggest Black urban centers in the country. And
communities like Bed-Stuy, Crown Heights have been neighborhoods that have been impacted by generations of policy that have excluded Black communities from, I think, the real needs that make a community thrive.
Our work really is to develop leadership of folks who are interested in social justice, interested in fighting for social justice, and really just like creating new community, creating new ways to be together in a neighborhood that faces a ton of institutional oppression, gentrification, and all the different forces that we're all under during a pandemic.
So Central Brooklyn, a historically Black network of neighborhoods, is facing things that a lot of Black neighborhoods face across the country.
The history of Central Brooklyn is really, a network of Black communities that were really kind of told, you can only live here in Central Brooklyn. And so, hundreds of thousands of people made it work, and they made communities out of really, I think, isolation and really just exclusion. Rents are going up. The city in general, and particularly Central Brooklyn, has been, losing healthcare facilities. So there's a lot of crises in Central Brooklyn that we're having to deal with. And, it's important for us to be a Black-led organization because Black people are the targets of all these different kind of losses.
So BMC members have brought these issues up and worked with the organization and other members on everything from delivering food to folks who need it during a pandemic to educating renters about their rights. And they've been bringing together community members to demand police accountability and create trainings and programs about keeping each other safe from street harassment completely outside of the police system. And if it seems like I'm just listing a lot of stuff, I am. It's because Brooklyn Movement Center is so good at seeing the bigger picture of what it means to support a community.
There aren't multiple issues for people who are being affected by the things that we're talking about, right? Like, you don't wake up and think like, oh, this is my housing problem, and then walk outside and go, oh, this is my neighborhood safety problem, right? Like, we experience all of these issues concurrently. And what that means is that, it gets really hard for people to get a sense of their own power. It just feels like there's constant pressure coming from all these different places in their lives.
So how do we develop an organization that holds, I think, a lot of different movement needs? So it's not just housing, it's not just environmental justice, it's not just education, it's not just community safety. That we can potentially be this place where we are talking to each other and really building and, visioning a brighter future.
And that's what's been honestly so amazing to me about becoming a member of the Brooklyn Movement Center. It's not just about responding to the immediate needs of the Central Brooklyn community. It's also about building up a vision in the community of what could be possible. What would it look like for Black lives to really, truly matter in Central Brooklyn? And how do we make that real?
We're talking about being organizers and developing leadership, but make no mistake, that leadership that we're developing, it's already there, right? We're not putting leadership into something. We go to how people already understand their problems, and we work with them around like, well, how do we develop this into power, right? Like how do we help give you a sense of your own power because you already have the power, but how do you get a sense of it, and then how do you build with other people who have a sense of their own power to get what you need?
But the imagination is what we need to really, I think, move towards a direction where Black people actually have power, actually have the ability to, I think, both take apart the stuff that's like, putting trauma on us every day, think about who we can be if we lived in the universe that I think justice centers itself in.
Brooklyn Movement Center is helping us expand our imagination and turn it into action right here, locally, with Black people at the center. But let's say you're not in Central Brooklyn and you want to build Black leadership or support Black leadership where you are. Antonine and Mike have some advice for you too.
I want people to really think about their relationships, people that follow you on social media or are in conversation with you, and really think, okay, well, what is or one conversation that I can have with those people that can hopefully mean that this organization or this person that I see in this community that's doing a lot of great work, they have more resources to do that work. And so it can be very that simple, but it starts with actually us realizing that we have the ability to organize people around us.
Right. If you have the time, if you have a skill, if you have resources, money, then give those to the people who need, right? Like the movement needs your time, talent, and treasures.
Because this is a Project for Awesome video. I mean, that's what we're doing right now. Spending time watching videos, learning from them, sharing them, raising money for them. So if you're at all inspired by the Brooklyn Movement Center and the work that they're doing to build a future for Central Brooklyn where Black lives really, truly matter, where there's justice and equity and community that supports Black people, here's what you can do. You can go to projectforawesome.com. You can donate if you're able to the big pool of money that we're raising. And more importantly, you can vote for Brooklyn Movement Center to win a portion of those funds. There's also a link to Brooklyn Movement Center's website if you want to learn more and keep up with what they're doing. Thank you for your time and your attention, and don't forget to be awesome. Bye.